What is going on, Raiders? Soda Dragon here. Welcome and I hope you guys are doing well. So what have I got for you guys today? Well, I'm going to be going over some of the drawbacks and weaknesses of the new August Fusion Lonatharil. I know you guys have probably seen this information before. This champion has been out for a few days, but something I think is important to do, especially for new champions, is not get caught up in the hype. I know they're the shiny new toy. The grass is always greener on the other side. The champion you don't have is always better than the ones you do. But really, are they? So today we're going to take a look and try to be as objective and as calm as possible and judge this champion and see whether or not he's good. So firstly, I'm going to go over his skills. I'll give you my opinions of them. Then I'm going to grade him and let you know at the very end whether or not I think you should fuse him depending on where you're at in the game. And that's really important. Different people in different parts of the game, whether they're end game or early game, etc., or extremely end game, may have uses for certain champions, whereas others in different parts of the game have no uses for certain champions. So guys, I'm not going to read off the skills verbatim, I'm just going to summarize them. So we're going to start off with the A1 here, Gallantry. What is it? It's a single target attack that does enemy max HP damage and puts a shield on the champion with the lowest HP on your team. Now guys, Playerman has pretty much said that this guy is going to be useful against the Scarab King. So it's almost like his kit was created to fight the Scarab King in certain respects. We're going to see if that's true or not, but as far as their purpose in creating this champion, this guy's supposed to be a Scarab King specialist. So what do I think about this A1? Well, as far as reducing enemy max HP, yes, it's useful against the Scarab King, pretty much only against the Scarab King, and it's useful to have that without having a set, like a destroy set on your champion. So it's nice to just have that in their kit. So yes, that part of his A1 is good against the Scarab King. But what about the shield he places on the ally with the lowest HP? Now, I actually don't think that part of his A1 is going to be that good against the Scarab King. Think about it, guys. What's going to happen if he attacks the Scarab King with this A1? Well, if he's not the ally with the lowest HP, let's say somebody else is, well, he's going to attack the Scarab King, put the shield on somebody else, and then the Scarab King is going to counterattack because this guy attacked without a shield on himself. Now you might say, no, he has other skills and he can shield himself the whole time. Well, those other skills are AoE shield skills, right? So if he can shield himself the whole time, then he can shield the whole team the whole time. So my question is, what's the use of a redundant A1 shield if you can already shield the whole team with 100% uptime? Now, do I think this A1 sucks? No, I actually don't think it sucks, but particularly against the Scarab King, I don't think it's going to be that useful. I think in PvE situations, a shield on the ally with the lowest HP is actually pretty cool, especially if you don't plan to book out this champion, so you don't have 100% uptime on the books for his shield over the whole team. So yes, if you don't have 100% uptime on that AoE shield, sure, a nice extra shield from the A1 is really nice. But against the Scarab King, it's redundant. Next up, guys, let's talk about the A2 Flicker Barrier. So basically, this is a 3-turn AoE shield on what I think is going to be a booked 3-turn cooldown. So this has a potential for 100% uptime on shields. And conditionally, we can get these shields here from the A2 to be irremovable if we meet the condition that one of our allies is dead when Lonatharil casts this. So guys, when do you really need 100% uptime on your shields versus the Scarab King? Well, if you plan to use a total turn meter control team against the Scarab King, meaning you don't plan for the Scarab King to even take one turn. You're using your Allures, your Visixes, your Armigers to completely control the turn meter of that Scarab King, and no, he's not going to take one turn. In that situation, if you don't have any Blood Shield accessories, and that's a big exception there, if you don't have any or you don't have enough for your whole team, that's the thing too. You don't just need some, you need your whole team to have Blood Shield accessories. If you don't have that, then yes, you need a shield champion that can do it with 100% uptime. Now guys, I've done a video on this type of team against the Scarab King if you guys are interested, but if you're not planning to run this type of team specifically, that is total turn meter control against the Scarab King, if you don't plan to run that type of team, you don't need 100% uptime on shields. That's the thing. Or if you have complete Blood Shield accessories for your whole team, then you don't need a champ like this. So only if you want to run that very specific type of team against the Scarab King will you really need that type of shield. That is that 100% uptime. Otherwise, 3-turn shield is just going to be chopped down by the Scarab King through damage, and that's no big deal. Sure, it helps your team survive, but that uptime on it, you don't need that unless, once again, you have a total turn meter control team against the Scarab King and you don't have Blood Shield accessories for everybody. And no guys, you don't need this fusion champion to get 100% uptime on shields. You can use Metal Shaper here. He has a nice 2-turn shield on a 2-turn cooldown when booked. It doesn't matter the duration. 2 turns is fine as long as it comes back around in 2 turns when he can recast it. So 2 turns or 3 turns, 100% uptime is 100% uptime. So no, you don't need a fancy champion to get those shields you need for that type of team. So what do I think about the irremovability of the shields? Well, I think unfortunately a lot of people forget that this is conditional. Now, is it a hard condition to fulfill? No, you can just bring in a level 1 common onto your team and then they just die, right? And just keep them dead. And there you go, condition fulfilled, right? You have irremovable shields. Well, remember what you're giving up. If you're going to go with something like that, then unfortunately, you're giving up someone on your team that could be a support champion. It could be a reviver. It could be a DPS champion. Basically, you're giving up a big portion of your team, like 1/5 or 1/4 of your team. Or I guess against the Hydra, 1/6 of your team. You're giving up that just to get irremovable shields. And here's the thing. I think a lot of people get overly impressed with the word irremovable. They think it's something akin to invincible. And it's not, all right? It can be taken down by damage in 1 turn. Not necessarily 3 turns, the full duration that is. So just keep that in mind. For some reason, people think irremovable is like, it's gonna stay there forever. No, no, no. The enemy just does damage. You do enough damage to that shield, it goes away in 1 turn, not even the full duration, 3 turns here. So once again, that's the way shields work. It's not like block damage, irremovable for 3 turns. It's not like that, but people think it is. This is just a normal shield. Chopping away at it with damage will make it disappear, and depending on the boss, disappear rather quickly. Next up, guys, the A3 Finest Hour. So what is it? It's basically an ally attack with an increased crit damage buff, and the number of participants in the ally attack does not have a cap. There are some ally attack skills that limit the number of allies attacking, sometimes 3, sometimes 2. This one, though, does not have a cap as far as how many allies attacking. So basically, your whole team will join in on this ally attack. Now, guys, as far as ally attack champions, with limits on how many allies can join in, here we have Kreela Witcharm, and only 3 people can join in on her ally attack. Plus, if it's unbooked, this is like completely ridiculous. She has a chance to fail to ally attack at all. This is insane. Anyways, once again, she can only have 3 people join in on the ally attack. So if you have a team of 5, not everyone's going to join in, and a team of 6, not everyone's going to join in. And we have Lady Atessa here, which her ally attack only brings in 2 other party members to join her. So hopefully they're the DPS champs on your team joining her for that ally attack and not like your support champs. So guys, what do I think about the A3 here? Well, in general, ally attacks are really powerful, but in particular, ally attacks that don't have caps on the number of allies that can join in. So champs like Cardiel or Longbeard, they have ally attacks that work with all your allies. So against the Hydra, man, 6 people attacking at once. Huge damage potential there. Plus that increased crit damage means there's even more damage potential. So yes, this A3 has the potential to be really, really powerful, especially if we see this on a booked 4-turn cooldown. So if it's not obvious, I think this A3 is excellent. All right, guys, on to the passive here, Piercer. So if Lonatharil here is attacking an enemy under shield buff, then he'll do 20% more damage. Now, guys, don't be too impressed with the language here. What does this passive actually do? Basically, it allows Lonatharil to take down shields faster. That's it. Not necessarily the champions that have the shields faster, but their shields faster. Because once their shield is gone, the bonus damage is gone. So basically, this guy can take down their shields a little bit faster. So I'm not too impressed with this passive. Next up, guys, is his aura. So he increases all allies' HP in Doom Tower battles by 35%. Now this is really good. This is the highest I think you can increase allies HP through an aura in Doom Tower battles. So 35%, as far as I know, is the max, and this guy's got it. So I would say excellent aura. All right, guys, so overall, how would I grade him? I would grade him a B-. So how do I think he fares against the Scarab King? Well, in that situation, I don't think he's the specialist that he was made out to be. I mean, guys, think about it. If you need 100% uptime on shields, you're gonna need to book out his A2. And how many legendary books do you have lying around? And by the way, that rare Metal Shaper, he can do it with rare books. I mean, are you gonna book this guy out just for that purpose? Now, as far as the decreased max HP on the A1, sure, that's nice, but a lot of champs have that, and a set has it as well, the Destroy set. And as far as ally attack, a lot of champs have that too. So a lot of things going for him, a lot of champs already have. Now, some of you guys might be saying, well, what about the irremovability of the shield? Now, my response is gonna be, are you really gonna have someone on your team use up a valuable slot to just die so that Lonatharil's shield here is irremovable? Now, some of you guys might say, no, I'm smarter than this. I'm not gonna have someone die permanently. I'm gonna have someone die temporarily. So somebody dies, then he's gonna cast his shields, they're irremovable. Then I'm gonna revive that guy. So my next question is, what about the guy that's revived? He doesn't have irremovable shields. You're just gonna leave him out in the dust? And please, guys, no comparisons to Brogni. That is such a joke. You cannot compare this guy in any meaningful way to Brogni. Does this guy have block debuffs and increased stack along with unconditional irremovable shields? No, this guy does not. Plus, does he have passive that heals people when they take shield damage and has reflect damage and can proc Giant Slayer when those shields are hit? No, this guy doesn't. It is a freaking joke to compare this guy to Brogni. Brogni makes this guy look like a rare in comparison. And no, I'm not talking about like those good rares. I'm talking about somebody like Gaelic. But guys, I'm not saying that this guy is going to suck against the Scarab King or can't help you out at all. What I'm saying is he's not really a specialist against the Scarab King. So who would I consider a specialist? Vergus. He's an epic that can solo the Scarab King all the way up through hard. He would be a specialist. This guy can just help you out a little bit. Guys, if you really need help in the Scarab King, do not go with the next fusion. Honestly, it's not worth it. All the resources you're going to be using for what looks like a difficult style fusion, it's a mixed style fusion where we have fragments going into epics, going into the legendary. So those typically are quite challenging. It's a lot of resources for somebody who won't help you out against the Scarab King as much as Vergus here or somebody like Urost or somebody like Taragi the Frog. So guys, where do I think that this champ is going to be useful if it's not going to be specifically useful for the Scarab King? Well, I think against bosses is going to be really useful because that shield is very useful against bosses for keeping your team alive, that tankiness, plus he has ally attack. One of the most damaging abilities in this game, and that ally attack is uncapped and has increased crit damage. All right, so Hydra against the clan boss. There's a lot of places where you can use this guy. Not in particular against enemy waves. Ally attack isn't the best against enemy waves, but against bosses in particular, it's really, really good. So definitely this guy can bring you big damage numbers against bosses. So guys, once again, overall, I would give this guy a B-. Now forget the irremovability of the shields because of how conditional it is. This guy is basically a shield / ally attack champ, and a very good ally attack champ at that. But that's pretty much it. And remember how many resources it's going to cost to really maximize this guy, meaning to book him out. So many resources go into a fusion to get him, and now you got to 6-star him and book him out to maximize his usefulness. A lot of people will not be able to do that easily. Yeah, sure, us content creators can, but what about you guys? I mean, are you a whale or not? Do you really need this guy, and do you have the resources to maximize him if you happen to fuse him? It's a lot for just a shield champ / ally attack champ. So no, this guy is not a game changer. And if you're low on resources or if you're a little burned out from the fusions, this guy is an easy skip. All right, guys, make sure to let me know in the comments what you think about this champion and whether or not you're going for him. Thanks for watching. And if you guys haven't yet, like, subscribe, and share. Turn on all notifications. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.